It's going to be filled with tips, examples, how to structure, how to analyze your competitors' ads as well. This is going to be the perfect setup for you to have a look at your ads, your competitors' ads as well, understand what they're doing and what is there actually to steal. So the next time that you would like to create a successful, your next campaign, you can make sure to really understand what they've been up to and what you can steal from them, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It doesn't matter for this session if you're in an established market or in a very specific niche. It doesn't matter if you're in complete beginner in marketing or not. We're going to speak about super generic concept and explain as well the much more expert and specific ones. It doesn't matter if you have a small budget. You can start to test small. The only thing that really matters is to make sure that you have 30 minutes to 1 hour a week to have a look at what you've done so far, what the others are doing as well, and make sure that you're in the right direction. A little introduction. Here at Panoramata, we collect ads from more than 20K, now 30K companies from all networks and all industries. Right now, what I wanted to share is how you should look at your competitors' ads, how you should look at your own ads as well, how to understand how you're making them, and to really dissect and have a look at what's inside an ad, what's the anatomy, and that's the title of this session as well. What's the anatomy of an ad, and how you should understand when you look into an ad if it works or not. By the end of this session, the goal is going to make sure that you can create better ads this year. Where competitive intelligence can help. When you take a look at what your competitors are doing, specifically for the ads, it's going to be super helpful for you in several different ways. The first one is you can get a sense of where they're actually insisting, what they're insisting on, what is their main proposition value, their main hook, the main triggers that they're using, but it's something that we're going to cover right now. You can check their creative over time. If they're implementing something new, if there are things that they're using again and again and again and again and again. And usually those are the things that they're doing again and again that should catch your attention, because you can have a look at this and say, okay, if that's where they're insisting, if that's where they're going towards, then it's probably something that is worth my attention. At the other side, if they're trying something one day and then they just remove them altogether, you know it's something that you can probably ignore, because okay, all right, of course, find better ideas without reinventing the wheel every single time, which we said. Let's go, because the goal, as I was saying, is to make sure that when it comes to advertising, when it comes to marketing overall, to advertising in particular, because it involves budget and a lot of time as well and resources, the goal is to make sure that you can make the smart decisions without getting lucky. And when I say without getting lucky, is to make sure that the decisions that you're making, the creative briefs that you're creating, the advertising decisions that you're making as well, that you can actually make them backed with some data, and competitive intelligence data has its role there to make sure that when you say that you want to create this kind of creative or this kind of ads or this kind of campaign, you can actually prove and say, I know this has higher chance of working than this other one or than this other campaign, because I've seen competitors doing this, or I've seen other players in the space, not direct competitors, but targeting the same audience, doing this and doing this successfully, and they insisted on it. And this is where competitive intelligence can really help you making those smart decisions without getting lucky. That being said, of course, don't copy blindly what a competitor or what brand is doing, because it's not going to work, and it usually actually doesn't work at all, because you don't know what led them. You actually don't know what's working for them in that. And that's something that we're going to cover together. The better way, when you look at what the competitor is doing, is not to copy what they're doing, but to take them as an inspiration to, again, de-risk your own marketing strategy and take that into consideration when you're making your own marketing decisions. The goal when you look at what they're doing is to really reverse engineer their thinking, their marketing strategy, so you can get a better understanding of their funnel and this is exactly what we're going to do just right after. Have a better look at how are they creating their ads, what do they have in mind, what are the different triggers, concepts, stories, concept that they're using when they're doing this. And this is the best way to create ads and take your competitors' ads into consideration when it comes to creating your own strategy as well. The very first step, we're going to dig into, actually this session topic right now. The very first topic you should cover right away when it comes to creating a new campaign or even just a new ads overall is to define who you're speaking to. That's the very first thing that you should have in mind. Here I've highlighted 3 of the main options that you could have. This is classic marketing concepts, but still tofu, mofu, pofu, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. It's not just acronyms, it has a meaning. And I gave you a few examples here as well. Usually top of the funnel, those are people who have the problem that you're looking to solve for them, but they're either unaware of the solution that you're providing, or they could also ignore the fact that they have the problem. There are plenty of examples here, but those are people who still have to discover either your solution, if it's an innovative solution, or just the problems that they have. If they, if they have bad breath, they might, 1, not know it. 2, they might not even know that there are some supplements that can fix this. If they have some body acne, they might not know that they have some, that it's actually called body acne. They might not know that there are products solving that for them. Those are top of the funnel audience, people that are not aware of what you're trying to sell to them. Then you have MOFU, middle of the funnel. Those people, they know the problem. They're aware of the problem that they're having. They're aware that there's some kind of solution that exists right there. They might not be aware of yours right away, and they're not motivated enough to buy right now. And then you have bottom of the funnel. Those people are almost ready to buy. They're motivated. They know they have an issue. They know about your solution. They might know that there are other competitors and other solutions around yours as well, but they're not buying something right now. They should be triggered into buying something. And right away, what you can see when you think about the next campaign, the next ad that you want to create, is whether you're picking one of these 3 audiences, you're going to land with totally different concepts altogether. If it's a top of the funnel audience, you'll have to explain, you'll have to make sure that the audience is experiencing the pain so they can understand that they have something to fix and therefore something to buy. If you try right away to sell your thing, they will just skip to something else because they will not even understand what you're speaking about. At the reverse, bottom of the funnel, if you try to re-explain to them what your product does, you'll lose their attention because that's not what they're looking for. What they're looking for is really to compare or have a deep offer, a bold offer, or a pricing motivator. They need some kind of bottom of the funnel trigger to make sure that they can make the purchase right away, which is not the case at all with the top of the funnel audience. And of course, you can't do them all in one single ad. The people's attention is very short. We have a very short span of attention, specifically on social media, but it's the same for search or any of the advertising places where we can usually see ads. You cannot address the 3 audiences at the same time. It won't work. The first one, it takes a bit of education. You might not close the sale right away, but you'll make them progress. The last ones, your goal is to close the sale right away and not explain anything else. You can't address them all at the very same time. So very first thing, when you're creating your own ad, define who you're speaking to. And then, because at the same time, when you analyze your competitors' ads, you should understand who they're speaking to as well. If you look at a specific ad of your competitors, don't try to get their ads as a whole. When you look at their ads, just try to understand right away, okay, are they explaining something or not? Are they just selling something or not? And try to really just have a good understanding of who are they speaking to? Is this for a specific audience? For instance, of course, bottom of the funnel, this is usually what people are doing in their retargeting audiences, people that are close to the offer. And you can catch those ads right away, usually when you are looking at them. Before we dig into the creative, which is going to be most of the chat that we're going to have afterwards, I just wanted to make something about the copy as well. A quick checklist when you're writing your copy for the ad, whether it's the headline, the description, or just the text within the ad as well. It relates to what we were saying before, but make it relatable. To make it relatable, you need someone actually to relate to. So you need to define who you're speaking to as well. So make it relatable, use simple words, be bold, be clear, understand who you're speaking to, of course. Make it unique. If the words that you're using can apply to another offer, another product than yours, this doesn't work. It means that it's not specific enough. It means that you can do better. So understand who you're speaking to, make it unique, use your audience language, not yours. That's why usually people are saying that looking at the reviews on your product, the reviews on your competitor's product is a good source of inspiration for ads, because doing this, you're pretty sure to catch their semantics, their language, and then you're able to use that in your own ads as well. And then, of course, rhyme and rhythm. Just make sure that the copy sounds well too. All right, and then we come for the anatomy of a successful ad, pretty much actually the anatomy of any visual ad either. It can also apply for search ads too, to be fairly honest. But essentially, any ad that you'll see, any ad that you'll be creating, any ad that you'll catch or you'll try to replicate or to steal is going to be composed of these specific elements: a trigger or a hook, an angle, a story, a message, a steal, and a media. We're going to go into all of these in details with a few examples, and then we'll have a session when we can dissect a few ads as well. The triggers are going to be the way where you can catch your audience attention. Right now, specifically on social media, specifically even more in videos, those are called hooks. It's basically a trigger. It's basically a way to catch your audience attention. I've listed the main ones here that are used 90% of the cases. The first one is fear. It could be fear of missing out. It can just be fear as well. But basically, fear is a super powerful emotion you can play on to catch your audience attention. Being fun works, of course. Fun is a great way to catch attention as well. Inspiration is great. Playing on your audience's inspiration too is a great way to make them feel they are concerned about what you have to sell. Future you is great. In a lot of industry, this is actually the main one. Here, you're selling a future on the person who's seeing the ad. Basic way to say this would be, if you follow this step, then you'll get these results. This is a future you trigger. And we'll have a few examples, basically just saying, do this and you'll achieve this result. This will make it this way. Surprise works well. Identity as well. If you make sure that you're able to create an ad that will identify to a very specific person, then you're going to get it. You're going to catch their attention as well. Those are the main triggers. Here are a few examples as well. So this is a video. We're going to watch the video in detail after together. I just want to focus right now on the specific trigger during this first part of the session. A prenatal you can trust, identify. You're specifically talking about prenatal, so it makes it super specific. Fear, speaking of trust, is actually playing on the fear trigger here. So prenatal, you can trust, great hook, great trigger. So people will just, if they're looking for prenatal, they will just watch this at least for a few seconds. Fear, that's a great comparison ad, but other brands versus JV and other brands, you can see 100% sugar, bloating, artificial ingredient, break the bank. You don't want to be within the other brands. You can see that, and it's not random. The first thing that you read when you see the ads is actually the them other brands part, because it plays on the fear. If you do what if you continue to do what you're doing right now, which is not purchasing JV, here are your risks. So it plays on the fear totally. Surprise for you when you have those kind of visuals on social media that just try to catch your attention, usually plays on surprise. Future you plays on overpacking. Again, it will and the same for this one as well. On the surprise, if you see wedding rings somewhere with on an ad, you won't expect, and we're going to watch the other together, but they're trying to actually break the wedding ring here. So it plays on the surprise. You're not used to see those kinds of visual when it comes to buying wedding rings. So we've seen the triggers and we've seen some of the most popular ones. Now I want to speak about the angles. And each ad, I'm going to go again on the anatomy slide here. Each ad is going to be composed of all of these elements at the same time. And it's up to you to identify them. And you can try, and we're going to do this. We're going to do this together for a few minutes still. You'll see that it's actually pretty simple when you catch it. But here we've seen some triggers. Here are some angles: benefit, price, ingredients, social proof, effectiveness. We can do the same exercise on the previous ones as well. Here, they're selling, of course, the benefits, and they're explaining to you why it's actually interesting to buy durable wedding ring. Here, it's actually on the comparison, so it's going to be on the benefits as well. This is going to be on the benefits too. There are other angles on top of the benefits: price, ingredients, social proof, effectiveness. Again, benefits. This sleepy hot cocoa made me a morning person in 1 week. Great benefit if you're looking to become a morning person. Ingredients. This is an ad by those that just really focus on the benefits, but also how they're achieving the benefits for you. And that's how the ingredient works, explaining how we can achieve those benefits. So here, the ingredients, social proof. You'll see a lot, and we'll review more social proof after. But social proof is a great concept too. The price, of course. So this is for Black Friday. This is still JV. But each time that you see a big offer, that's the price angle. Then each time that you see an ad that has the price bold, loud, and clear, whatever the form, then it means that they're using the price angle. And then effectiveness as well. This one comes well when you can add numbers. It can be actually any kind of number. The minute that you're trying to explain that it works, then you need to put numbers. It could be a percentage of success. It could be a clinical study. It could be whatever kind of number you'd like. Here, for instance, the number don't relate to pretty much anything related to the product. It's not a proof by itself, but people who might be looking to buy these products actually understand what the REM sleep measure does, and they're in, and the ad catches their attention thanks to this, and explain how the product works well because of the effectiveness angle. So we've seen so far the trigger, how you catch your audience attention, the angle, how you would explain how your offer work, whether benefits, price, ingredients, social proof, what we've just seen as well. Then I want to speak about the story, which is a cool thing for the ads. Whether you're using video or actually also images, they all work the same way. Each ad should be a story in itself. It doesn't have to be a complicated story. Social proof is a story by itself, but each ad is also a story. So here we go. We have a classic social proof with quick explanation of how it happened. Here we have a story that goes from the problem to the solution. The problem here is implicit. So basically, you cannot have your best sleep everywhere. So we'll be providing you the solution to this problem, which is a way, the air adjustable travel neck pillow, a way to have the best sleep anywhere and everywhere. Again, pretty much the same thing here. Aging well, this is my problem. We're selling you the solution, getting everything you need with all these ingredients and what it enables for you as well. You have others, social proof again, and you'll notice this is also what's interesting here. You'll notice that exactly the same product using two different concepts. This one, problem solutions. This one, social proof only. And you can imagine for pretty much any offer, any product, any ad that you've created in the past, you can actually just change one parameter in the, going to get there, in the anatomy list here. You can just change one parameter, whether it's the trigger, the angle, the story, or we're going to see the rest as well. And you'll land with a totally different ad at the end. And that change only can actually multiply and change a lot of on your ad performances. So social proof, we've seen problem solution. Here it's the reverse, mostly for the bottom of the funnel audience, as we've said at the beginning. Try out the Zit Sticker pimple patches with me. This works only for the people who know what are Zit Sticker, who know what are pimple sticker as well, pimple patches. And then this video is going to show them how effective it is and how good solution it is to the problems that they're having. But the people who will be touched or who might actually buy after this ad are the ones that know about the brand, know about the problem, of course, pimples, but also know about the solution. They do not need to be educated on what is a pimple patch. They're looking to buy, and they're really at the bottom of the funnel. So this one is solution, and I'm going to give you the proof that the solution is working. But again, problem solution works well for middle of the funnel or top of the funnel audiences as well, because here you can explain the issue that you're trying to solve and how you're going to solve it. Of course, then style. As you've seen, we already had a lot of different styles here. So this is a UGC, this is a lifestyle photo, this is a lifestyle photo as well. This is a collage. So again, you can have an ad that works on the social proof, and then you can have it as a UGC, as a product shot, as a collage. And there are a lot of different ways to style and to build your ad in a creative way. And then, of course, media metrics. We've seen both ads that are images and videos in this session. Videos usually, and what I wanted to do here is also give you a few metrics that you could use to actually measure if your ads are working or not, at least to understand if they're catching the attention and the attention from the right audience. So for the videos, the main metrics you can have a look at are the 3-second ratios. Are people engaging with your ads within the first 3 seconds? And most importantly, are they not scrolling or swiping right to the other video? And are they hooked by the trigger that you've used? That's essentially, if you're doing a video, what the trigger is. The trigger would be the first 3 seconds of your video. You need to make sure that when they're looking in their feed or insert in the stories at your video, just to make sure that they won't skip to the next one right away. So how many of them are actually sticking and still playing your ad after 3 seconds? Then you're going to have the hold rate. Hold rate is going to be essentially from the 3rd second to the 15th. So how many people do I have that are sticking and watching my ad from second 3 to second 15? That's basically your angle, how you're explaining what you're selling and how convincing you are. And it's a good way to understand if my trigger is good. So let's say that I have 40% of the people who are watching my ad that are still here after the first 3 seconds. So let's use another figure. Let's say you have 1,000 impressions. Out of 1,000 impressions, second 3, you still have 400 people looking at your video. So you have a 40% 3-second ratio, which is great. The question now is going to be how many people you will still have watching your ad after 15 seconds. Let's say that you'll have 200, which is great. So you still have 200 people watching your video after the first 15 seconds. And that's measured by the hold rate, which essentially relates to the angle, which is this. So basically, you can have a trigger that starts with, as we've said together, fear, fun, social proof, and then the angle is going to be how you would convey your offer. And if you see that there's a huge drop, then you know that you might change your angle. Maybe the benefit one is not the right one and you should focus on the price. Maybe the benefit one is actually a bit convoluted and you should use the ingredients to explain how you will achieve the benefits. Or the social proof might actually be something that works better. So looking at how your ad itself is doing in terms of creative metrics will give you indications as well in terms of where in my ad do I need to make changes. And that unique CTR is, of course, the amount of unique people clicking on your ad after watching it. Works the same way for the images. The click is going to be the main leading metric here. Same thing, again, we're going to have a chat about this just right after. For the landing pages, the conversion rate of how many people, after watching the ad, after clicking on the ad, are actually making the purchase at the end. So the question becomes, how to get new ideas based on the anatomy that we've just seen together. If you're launching a new campaign, one of the very good way to actually get new good ideas to create winning campaigns quite quickly is to have a look at your competitors' past campaigns, but keeping in mind everything that we've just seen together, being able to identify the triggers, being able to identify the concept, the stories, the angles, and with that in mind, it's going to be super easy for you to identify right away which kind of ads they're publishing and what's working for them. Yep, exactly. If they're running the same offer, the same angle, the same concept, the same trigger as well. Here, for instance, this is a hair care brand called Prose, and you can see essentially, it's easier for me to share this in as a photo right now. This is essentially the same video, but they're using 4 different triggers on this. This one is a POV. This one is a question. This one is actually on the benefit. This one is the future you trigger. This one is the fear. Are you styling your wavy hair wrong? How to slay your wavy hair routine. This plays on the fear trigger, a fear hook. This plays on the future you, how you can do this better. This play on the curiosity, and it's also going to be, as you see here, a before, after. So you can see that it's essentially the same ad, the same offer, the same concept, just 4 different triggers, 4 different hooks. And when you have a look at your competitors' ads next time, just have a look at what they've been consistently doing over time and try to identify if they're always using the same hook, always using the same trigger, or always using the same angle because they're always focusing on the benefits, or always on the price. Or in terms of concept, are they always selling problems, then solution, or solution, then social proof? And having a look at your competitor ads this way, you will see right away what you can use for your own next campaigns as well. And that will give you dozens, hundreds of perfectly valid good ideas that you can use next time. Pretty much the same way here. Again, same ad, same product, same offer, 4 different triggers here. POV, you didn't realize you had wavy hair this whole time. How to know if you secretly have wavy hair. Again, this is curiosity. This is what your hair could look like. This is future you. The secret weapon for unlocking your waves. This is the same trigger as this one, which is the curiosity and the secret as well. Super powerful trigger, but it's fun to see that they're using this one as well. Makes sense? Okay, cool. If it makes sense so far, then I just wanted to have a quick word about the landing pages as well, because it's the continuity. You cannot think about creating a great ad without thinking about the funnel that you're going to create with this ad as well. If you've done a great job at creating your ad, then it's actually quite specific. You're targeting a very specific audience. You've made something unique that actually speaks to them directly. It should be the same about your landing page. And by landing page, I mean when they do click on the ad, where they're landing just right after onto your website, it cannot be your homepage because you're talking to them with a very specific message. You cannot lead them to a very generic page right away. They're going to be lost. So you need to create a page that will be as specific as the ad that you've created before. And being specific sells because it will make your targeting accurate and it will build up interest. Here's, for instance, AG1, big supplement brand, successful supplement brand as well. What I love here is you can see that Athletic Greens is essentially selling one product, which are greens, which is, I'm going to say it this way, all-in-one supplement that you can take pretty much every day. To sell it effectively, they've tried, I don't know how many triggers, I don't know how many angles, I don't know how many concepts. They landed on the few ones that were actually working. And with one single product, they're able to target a lot of different audiences. And on top of the ads that they're running, this is for targeting afternoon slump. This is for my sister. This made me quit all my other supplements. It's essentially exactly for the same product. They're just conveying different proposition value, different angles, different triggers for each one of their ads. And then you can see that they're also creating specific landing pages for each one of these ads as well. So this is a landing page that goes for interest, specifically built for runners. This is a landing page specifically built for the taste. And this is a landing page specifically built for energy, for the people looking for an energy drink and looking for functional benefits. All right, that's specifically for the benefits. And you can see again, same product, but three very different headlines targeting very specific use cases. Say goodbye to energy drinks and coffee. AG1 is the daily health drink for sustained energy plus so much more. The taste, sadly sweet, powerfully simple, fundamental nutrition. And then for runners, the benefit right away, but specifically targeted to them. Run stronger, recover faster. And then you can see that they continue 3 reasons why runners love AG1. So on top of creating the right ad, one, you've tried a lot of different messaging, triggers, angles as well. Once you did find the audiences that you want to speak to, just make sure that you don't stop there, but also create landing pages that are quite in line with what you're trying to do here. And yep, that's part of your job, having and looking at what your competitors are doing. It doesn't have to take you that much time because there are platforms that exist that can actually help you do this automatically. And this is where we're speaking from. Panoramata is one of them. And Panoramata is a platform that will track automatically for you everything that your competitors are doing automatically, all their ads on all their social networks, and classify these ads for you, keep them in history. So the minute that you're looking for examples or inspiration or any use case you can actually think of, Panoramata can actually help you achieve this right away. There are plenty of features that will actually make the life of any marketer way easier. What I wanted to share right now was a way, all right, perfect. That's some of the ads that I've used during this call on Panoramata, on top of tracking all the ads and everything that your competitors are doing, actually ads, landing pages, website changes, emails, and even much more. You can actually save and organize these assets automatically on the platform. So I've created a few lists that I have here that are part actually of the weekly sessions that we're doing, where we collect all the best ads that we've seen week after week. I have them here. Send me a message if you're watching the replay. I'm going to make sure to reach out to everyone, sign up to the webinar as well. I'm going to share a big swipe file that we've created with some of the most successful ads that we've seen over time. Again, already classified with the anatomy structure that we've seen together. If you're not receiving the message from me, just make sure to ping me. Here you have a link just right up there, or via LinkedIn or by email, or just on the chat if you'd like on the platform, and I'll happily share it with you right away. And again, the platform is a perfect, exactly, the platform is a great way for you to actually have a look at what your competitors are doing and making it super easy for you to understand, okay, which trigger they're using, which concept they're using as well, what are the main things that they're doing and that look that it's working for them on their own advertising strategy. And that will make for you your life way more easier when it comes to creating your next campaign, because you'll be able to understand deeply what your competitors are up to and what's working for them. All right, 36 minutes. It was actually a pretty long session. I don't know if there's any question right now. Otherwise, it doesn't have to be right away. You can actually reach out to us and to the team right after this meeting as well. We'll be here to answer any question you might have. Otherwise, I'll stay live for a minute or two still. And yep, otherwise, don't hesitate. If there's any interest, any question about the platform, book a call, schedule a session with us, and I'll happily audit your own advertising strategy live with you, compare it to your competitors, and answer any question that you might have about Panoramata. All right, great. That being said, have an amazing day, and wherever you are in the world, take care. Bye-bye.